Hi there, and welcome. Today, we're going to be demystifying a really crucial bit of financial support that, honestly, so many people miss out on. It's called attendance allowance. So, let's dive in and find out what it is and who it's really for. And let's just start with a really simple question. Just take a moment to think about this. Do you, or does someone you love and care for, need a bit of extra help to get through the day? If that sounds at all familiar, then you are absolutely in the right place. So what is this thing, attendance allowance? Well, in a nutshell, it's a benefit specifically designed to help with all those extra costs that can pop up when you're living with a long-term health condition.
Okay, let's get a bit more specific. Attendance allowance is extra cash for people who are over state pension age. It's there for you if you have a long-term condition, and that can be physical or mental. That means you need a hand with personal care, or maybe you just need someone to keep an eye on you to make sure you're safe.
Now, this is the part I really want you to hear, because we need to bust some myths right now. First off, attendance allowance is not means tested. It doesn't matter what you've got in savings or what your income is. It's also completely tax-free. And this is a big one. You do not need to have a carer already to apply. Finally, you can spend the money on absolutely anything that makes your life easier. Taxis, a cleaner, different food, whatever you need.
So all of that leads to the big question, right? Could you, or someone you know, actually be eligible for this? Let's break down the main things they look for. It really comes down to three main rules. Number one, you've got to be over state pension age. Number two, you have some kind of health condition, physical or mental, that impacts your day-to-day life. And number three, you've needed that help or supervision for at least 6 months. Now, just a quick note, that 6-month rule doesn't apply if someone is terminally ill. That support is fast-tracked. Okay, this is something that trips a lot of people up, so let's clear it up. How is this different from PIP, or Personal Independence Payment? Well, the main thing is age. Attendance allowance, or AA, is for people over state pension age. PIP is for people under it. Another key difference is that AA doesn't cover mobility needs, whereas PIP does. And remember this, you can't start a brand new PIP claim once you're past state pension age. That's why understanding AA is so important.
All right, let's talk about the money. How much could you actually be looking at getting? For the 2025-26 period, there are 2 different weekly payment rates.
So first up, we've got the lower rate, and that comes in at £73.90 a week.
And then we have the higher rate, which is a much more significant £110.40 every single week.
So, how on earth do you know which rate applies to you? Honestly, it boils down to one simple but really important distinction. You can get the lower rate if you need frequent help during the day or during the night, but you'll qualify for that higher rate if you need help during the day and during the night. See the difference? It's or versus and. The higher rate is also the one that applies if you're terminally ill.
Right then, we've covered the what and the how much. Now for the really practical bit, how do you actually apply? Let's walk through it together. It's simpler than you might think.
It really just breaks down into 3 key steps. First, you've got to get the form. The best way to do this is to call the helpline. And here's a pro tip. Your claim starts from the date you make that call, so don't put it off. Second, you need to fill it in, giving loads of detail. We'll get to some tips for that in just a second. And third, you just pop it in the post. You don't even need to pay for a stamp.
Now, I know that form can look a little intimidating. So here are some amazing tips from charities who help people with these every single day. Try keeping a diary for a week or so, just to jot down all the little things you need help with. It's so easy to forget. And please, don't play down your difficulties. You have to describe what your worst days are like, not just your best. Mention any falls you've had. List all the little gadgets and aids you use. And really, don't be afraid to ask a friend or a local advice service to help you fill it out. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this whole application section, it's this. What matters is that you need help, not that you're already getting help. That's so important. It means you could be living alone and struggling through, thinking you don't qualify. But if the need for help is there, even if no one is actually providing it yet, you could be eligible. It's all about the need.
Now here's something that a lot of people don't realize. Getting attendance allowance isn't just about that weekly payment. It can actually be a key that unlocks a whole bunch of other support.
It's kind of like a gateway benefit. If your claim is successful, it can lead to more pension credit, it could mean you get extra help with your housing benefit, and it could even lead to a reduction in your council tax bill. It can also be a huge help if you're trying to apply for a blue badge for parking.
And you know, the impact doesn't stop with you. It can make a massive difference to the people around you too. If someone is caring for you for 35 hours a week or more, once you're awarded attendance allowance, they may now be able to claim carer's allowance for themselves. It's a benefit that really helps the entire support network.
So, if you're going to remember just one thing from everything we've talked about today, please let it be this. This benefit is based on the help you need, not the help you currently get.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Now that you've seen how it works, who it's for, and all the support it can unlock, just ask yourself, could this financial support make a real, tangible difference for you or for someone you care about?